Do you know what's on the rise across this country? Fights at sporting events. So you know what we're done with? Fights at sporting events.
Welcome to the 41 and Done podcast.
I don't know what's going on, but my algorithm is completely jacked. All I'm seeing is people fighting at baseball games and fighting at basketball games and altercations all throughout the stands. So I feel like I have to perform a public service to tell all of you people out there who are fighting at sporting events to stop fighting. This is barbaric behavior, and I'm done with it. I'm absolutely done with it. I am well aware that hopefully, I am praying that most of my audience and the subscribers to my YouTube and the podcast feed are and my followers of the Instagram are not causing this type of problem. So this week I'm also going to rope in just sport game etiquette. What should we be doing at these events? If you're the bruiser in the outfield, like, fucking pull up a chair, because we have to have a talk, man. We got to have a serious talk. And women. We got to have a talk, woman, because this shit is just absolutely out of hand. All right. I really believe that this is happening to people at games between the ages of 21 to 41. So there's that gap. There's this big gap, and we're clashing. We're clashing. I don't know. Maybe the pandemic has had an effect on this, like shutting down all the sporting events, and then, you know, we had that time off to where we couldn't go to these events, and now we are back in full swing of full attendance. Things are ramping up. Tensions are high. The country is sort of in duress, and maybe that is causing the rise in brawls in the stands. I'm not sure, but look, this is a serious problem, and we should not be doing this as civilized people, okay? The question is, have I ever gotten into a fight at a sporting event? The answer is absolutely not. I have never gotten into a fist fight at a game or after a game. And the next question is, well, have you ever been like absolutely bombed at a game? That answer is 100%. The thing is with me, all the games that I've gone to as an adult that can legally consume alcohol, I've had my fair share. And when I get like super drunk and jacked, I get happy and I get fun. I don't get aggressive like that. I don't start freaking out on people. I don't know. I don't know what the psychology is with these people getting in fights, but I can only imagine, like, here's my theory on why people fight. The cost of games is so much. The average cost of going to a sporting event. I mean, if you're buying decent seats, just going to that game that's a $200 ticket, I feel, easy. And that's across the board. Basketball, football, football. What other sports are there? Baseball, sorry. Basketball, football, baseball, soccer. You know, this is the core group fighting. I bet this is happening a lot at WWE too, but I just haven't been to those. I've been to two Actually, that's not true. I've been to a WCW Monday Nitro. That is it. And I went when it was like full on NWO Wolfpack era, where you had the Wolfpack fighting the black and white NWO, and it was wild. And Sting had just like joined that shit. But that's neither here nor there. I think that people are fighting at games because the tickets are expensive. And when the tickets are expensive, everyone is under high stress because there is an expectation to have the best time. And that's why getting in fights happens in holidays, maybe not physical or whatever. That's why family fights at weddings. That's why, or the lead up to weddings. That's why we fight, because the expectation, what we've got upstairs in our brain, is that this has to be amazing. So when little things come up that make the event not amazing, people get pissed. People get pissed, man. You spend $200 on a ticket and you sit down in your seats, and then in the next row, another group sits down in front of you and they're loud and they're obnoxious, or they're huge and you can't see the game anymore. I feel like these are all things that make your eye twitch a little bit, and you start to go, why is this happening? And then you snap. I think you snap. Maybe they knock your beer over, or maybe they bump into your kid, or maybe they don't stand up when you're trying to like walk over to your seat or something like that, and that sets you off. Or maybe they accidentally, but kind of intentionally, knock over the $30 hot dog you just bought, and then you've had a couple in you and you're like, let's fucking do it, let's fight. This we absolutely have to use some restraint. Dig deep. And I can't believe I'm saying this. I am a grown-up now, man. Fucking be a good person. Now, we've gone over those couple of scenarios. Now, let's go into team. You're at a game and you are rooting for the opposing team, the away team. So, meaning you are at Dodger Stadium and you love the Padres, okay? And you are so gung-ho. I absolutely love the Padres till I die. I am their number one fan. And any Dodger fan that gets in my face and talks that talk, I'm gonna fuck his or her shit up. That's your MO. That's the energy you're walking into that stadium with. You are gonna get what you are looking for. A fight. That is happening. And someone starts talking shit about the Padres, you turn around and you go, hey, those are my Padres, God damn it. You're going to get a fist in your face. 100%. And do you deserve it? I don't know. I don't think so. You don't. You have a right. If you buy a ticket for a team, you have a right to go there, and you have a right to cheer. Now, if your cheers get aggressive, if you start using foul language, that's the other thing. Dude, I would get really, really upset if I brought my kids to a game and the people like next to me or in front of me were like, F this, F that, you suck D, and blah, 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 and just started going on a full curse word tirade. I would be very inclined to speak up and be like, hey, come on, my kids are here. They can't hear that shit. They can only hear their dad say that shit, all right? But even then, Jenny taught me a lesson a while ago. Like, we go to the movies all the time before we had kids. We would go to the movies all the time, and it was this sort of scenario. Like, ticket sales, prices of movies have gone up so much that like I had this expectation. I was like, I'm going to this theater, I'm watching this movie, and I want to have a good time. I don't want to hear anyone else's conversations. I don't want to hear kids talking. I don't want to hear babies crying. I don't want to hear any of it. So if I hear it, I'm shushing the shit out of those people. I'm shushing them. You're getting shushed by Dan Hill if you're talking in a movie theater. And I would do it. And one time, here's what sucks. Here's the reality of shushing somebody in a movie theater. You do it. Shut the fuck up. Well, you don't say shut the fuck up, but you shush them, right? You give them the shush, and then it takes you out of the movie, it takes them out of the movie, and it takes whoever you're with out of the movie. Because everyone after the shush is just waiting back and seeing if there's gonna be some sort of response. And that's the dangerous part. Because people, what Jenny was trying to tell me is that, Dan, if you shush somebody in the theater, you have no idea what they're capable of. They could turn around and stab you in the neck. They could turn around and shoot you in the chest. They could turn around and punch you in the face, or any of those things. Or they could just make the rest of the movie a terrible experience. So I have really eased off of that. I don't do that anymore. At the most, I would probably just, if someone was absolutely crazy in a movie theater, I've done this where I've gone to the movies by myself, and two kids, teenagers, were like talking through the whole thing and like kind of canoodling, and it was getting a little like, ew, this is distracting. I just got up and moved my seat. And I know there's assigned seats now and everything, but this was late. There wasn't a full theater, so I just got up and moved. That's what you can do. Or you can always be the narc. Go tell on them. Just go tell on them. Go tell security. But this is what can happen to you at these sporting events too. It's dangerous, man. You get in a fight, you tell somebody to shut the hell up, or you tell somebody, hey, the Padres suck. Hey, you bumped into me. Hey, you spilled mustard on my shirt. You could get your ass kicked. You can totally get your ass kicked. And they don't have to look like they can fight. The UFC has taught us that these little dudes, these tiny women, they can whoop your ass. People are trained now. People are fully training in MMA all the time. And you know what MMA fighters like? You know where they go? Everywhere. They go where we go. So you could hit the lottery and tell somebody, hey, you owe me a new hot dog, or you're cursing too much in front of my kid, and they could turn around and straight up surgically destroy your face. And then what are you going to do? Then what? You fight back? You defend yourself? I think you can. If you get in a fight, if someone's aggressive towards you and they start fighting you, you can defend yourself, of course. I'm not saying let people whoop your ass at a game, but you can't be the aggressor. You just can't be the aggressor. I share some like fight vids with my buddy Kevin. Shout out to Kevin, man. And I remember a long time ago, this stuck with me. I wonder if he remembers him ever saying this to me. But it might have been at his bachelor party. He said, like, you never want to be, he said to me, you never want to be the last person to know that you're in a fight. And I mean, I kind of feel like no truer words have ever been spoken. There's a lot of people who get into these altercations. What I'm seeing on the internet now is these people are close talking. They're having an argument, and the hands are down by their sides. They're not ready. They're not prepared. And the first person, I would say typically, the first person to throw that punch typically wins because they threw the first punch. And I know I'm making an argument for why you should throw the first punch right now at a game, but I'm saying don't. But if you have to, if you think it's for real going to go down, you should probably swing. I'm sorry. If you think it's 100% going to happen and there's no way out of it, maybe start it. I don't know. I don't know where this podcast is going already, but I might be flipping on myself. It's hard, man. It's hard. And then the high ground is so important in these stadiums. Like, if you are on an angle and you have a problem with someone behind you that's up, you're punching upward. They got the high ground. They can just start wailing down on you. So that's a key element too. Don't be starting shit when you have the low ground. High ground, you're in a way better position. What is worth it? What is worth fighting over? Someone dropping your pizza? Someone spilling your nachos? Someone getting mustard on your new $200 Freddie Freeman jersey? Someone stepping on your shoes when they pass by you? Or someone using foul language the whole game? Or someone just ruining your entire experience? Is that worth what's going to happen later? Let's talk about what happens later. Let's think about this. When you're in the heat of the moment, you're not thinking about this stuff. Here's what happens to you. Security jumps in. Security jumps in fast. They're coming in. They're separating you. They are taking you away from whoever you're defending, whatever family you're with. They are on their own. And they are not protected by you anymore. You're out of the picture. You get ejected from the stadium. If you're lucky, they just kick you out of the stadium. If you're not lucky, some of these stadiums have fucking jails, man, under them, in the basements. Under there's like I heard rumors that at Eagle Stadium there is a straight up jail and processing because they're not playing this shit because there's tons of fights over there. So you not only do you get removed from the game, you have to go down to underground jail and just start the fucking process of being arrested. A lot of charges. You can get a lot of charges: disorderly conduct, public intoxication, assault. These are serious. These are serious charges that stay on your record that you don't want to be dealing with because you just spent $200 to $300 on a fucking great seat. It's expensive to go to a game, buy all the food, and fight, and then get charged with this sort of stuff because there's heavy fines, man. We got public intoxication for $500 to $2,000 total on average. Disorderly conduct is $1,000 to $5,000 plus lawyer fees. And then you got add-ons down the road. You got court fees. You got missed work. You got lawsuits. Like, let's say you win and you wrangled this guy's face. You think he's not going to sue you for the dental work he's had to do? For the bridge you knocked out of his mouth? For the nose you broke? For the eye socket that you fractured? And that's if you win. What if you lose? You're probably still going to get sued. Then all of this stuff is really, really terrible. Then you've got your stadium consequences too. You've got, like I said, you got the immediate ejection. Sometimes you get a lifetime ban and you get added to like a do not admit list. And don't give me this bullshit where you're like, oh, how can they stay true to that? How can they process that? I'm just a person. I'm buying a ticket. Well, they scan your face, man. They can scan your face. They'll find your ticket. They'll block your name, and you have to create a whole new email and credit card information. or someone else have to buy your tickets per game, and then every time you go to that game or you go to that stadium, you're going to be worried. I'm bringing my kids to this one. Maybe they don't let me in because I kicked Jimmy's ass a couple months ago. Like, those are strong repercussions just from the stadium. Now, let's talk about the fallout, the social fallout, dude. Everybody has phones. We're in 2026. It is now a knee-jerk reaction to pull out your phone and start recording because everything is content. Everybody wants to get that footage of a problem so that they can post it on social media and get the clicks and get the likes, get the follows. That is 100% happening. So not only are you going to get in this fight, you're going to get fined, you're going to get arrested, you're going to get kicked out, you are also going to get famous. You're going on the internet. You are going on the news. As Ed the Bassmaster would say, I'm putting you on the news. You are going on the news. You're going on Instagram. You're going on TikTok. And if you're fighting good, you are going viral, buddy, for all the wrong reasons. Then you're like that couple. You're like that couple at the Coldplay concert. Your work sees it. Your family sees it. Your friends see it. They go, hey, why did Jason whoop that guy's ass over the nachos that he spilled? Did you see Marshall get suplexed out of the section that he was in at the Laker game last night? You're going to be a star. Your work sees that. They got a right to let you go, dude. Fighting in public, like, I'm sure there's something in your employee terms and conditions that you've signed that says that you can get fired or dismissed for conduct like detrimental to insert work business here. It's their prerogative at that point. So now you lost your job. You got to go to the dentist because you got your front teeth knocked out. And now you're famous on the internet. These are the things that you need to think about before you punch some dickhead in the face at a game. Okay? I hope I'm making the case here. I hope you're listening. So let's talk about other game etiquette. All right? We've covered fighting. Here's another one. Running onto the field or streaking. This is a non-starter. Okay? One, we're getting older, and leaping over the outfield or bypassing security or sprinting far enough to like actually make an impact, those days are over. You are going to get destroyed by security. They will eat you alive. That is what they're there for. That security that tackles people, they want it. That's why they've applied to be that. Their application is, can you sprint super duper fast and also bulldoze people once you get to them? And they've all checked, yes. Yes, I can. Again, with that, viral, you're going to go viral. You're going to get arrested. You're going to get fined. And you're going to get banned. And is it worth it? I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe, and I've heard of these people that they're betting on this bullshit. They're going on these sport betting apps and betting on a streaker and then being the streaker. Well, congratulations, but you're kind of an idiot. You're kind of a loser too. Like, they don't even televise it anymore because they don't want to incentivize it. If they televise it, more people are going to do it. But you're not getting on TV anymore. And then, all right, maybe you're going to argue with me like, oh, well, what if you're spreading like a message of peace and love and you're just trying to bring awareness to that and you're doing that so that you gain a platform and the eyeballs from that, but you did this illegal act. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it, especially now because that shit doesn't get on TV anymore. They cut away and they just fuck you up. So whatever message of peace or love or cruelty to animals or, stopping heinous acts from happening, that ain't working. You're not getting the eyeballs that you once were. Okay? So just cut it out. Let's grow up a little bit. Let's be done with it. All right. Here's some other etiquette and another fight starter. All right? Boom. Pop fly at a game. It's coming right to you. You are over, I don't know, you're 25 and up. If you catch that ball and you are not on a date with someone that you love, you give that ball to a kid. You do it. You give that ball to a kid 100%. Don't be an asshole. Maybe there's some caveats there. Maybe if it's a Shohei Ohtani home run, maybe you keep that one. If it's a grand slam, maybe you flip that one. Maybe you sell it. That's tough. Because the resale market of a home run, like World Series ball or Shohei ball, I don't know. I don't think I would give that one up if I caught it. I don't know if I would. It would be tempting. But all right, let's change it. Regular season foul ball. Okay? You give it up. Unless it's Shohei. Regular season foul ball, you give that ball to a kid. Okay? That's the right thing to do. And here's the benefit too. If they see you do that, a lot of places they'll give you something. They'll come to your seat and they'll give you like a signed hat or another signed ball or something. You'll probably get something. And if you don't get anything, you won't be famous for being an asshole. If you don't catch a fly ball and it just lands in the stands and you're fighting to grab it and it's you versus a child, let the child have it. All right, you dumbass, let the child have it. That's what you have to do. It's what you must do. Look, we've all got freaks. And they all go to games, okay? But sexy time is not the place for it. You don't want to be doing any kind of kinky sexual acts in the stands, in the bathrooms, in the vicinity, all right? For all of the reasons I've laid out before, you can get famous. You can get real famous for doing that. And there's a lot of fallout for that. Be done with that, okay? I'm not going to go that much further into it, but there's no like Mile High Club for fucking at Broncos Stadium, all right? You don't save it. Just chill, all right? Watch the game. Enjoy the game. Enjoy the seats you spent money on. Bathroom etiquette, man. Lines get long. You don't want to be cutting lines. Don't cut lines. If you got to throw up, that doesn't mean you can skip the line and run into a bathroom stall, okay? You head to a trash can. And you puke. This one's for all you professional sports team owners that are listening to the 41 and Done podcast right now. If your stadium has the goddamn piss trough, I'm talking about the metal fucking trough, the literal trough that is lined on the wall for men to pee in, and you don't have individual urinals with dividers, fuck you. I am so mad at you. Why would you not put that in? It's disgusting. You're treating us like animals. The days of going into the piss trough and pulling out our dicks and there's no divider, no privacy. What are you doing? You're a jerk. This is gross. Update your facility, okay? That is a must do. We are spending enough money at all of these games. We are paying for the merch. We are buying the food. We are buying the tickets. You make sure no one else can see my dick when I take a piss. That's all I ask. That's the transaction. I give you money for food, ticket, and merch. You give me private place to pee. That's just disgusting. Update it. Update it. For the love of God, it's 2026. I don't want to see other people's dicks. They shouldn't have to see my dick. 'Cause fights will start, you know? That's another way to start a fight. You cross streams. You can't. Like, you'll get beat up. You can't cross streams in the trough. You nuts? Someone thinks you're looking at their dick. That can start a fight. You don't give us reasons to fight at these things, all right? Have shorter lines. Have more attendance. Have more places that we can go to where we won't be pissed off when we're rushing back to our seats to watch the game. You know, make the hallways wider. A lot of this falls on the ownership groups as well. You want to stop fights. Make the experience more enjoyable and less expensive. All right, guys. Hope we've learned something about etiquette at sporting events. I hope that I've deterred a lot of you from fighting at these games. And if I've missed something, let me know. Hit me up. 41ndonepodcast@gmail.com. You can hit me up on Instagram or TikTok at 41ndonepodcast. Should we add something? Is there a caveat? Is there a reason to fight always? I've never fought. I've been to a lot of tailgates. Never fought. Never fought at a tailgate. I just want to drink. I just want to drink and eat and be happy, be merry. That's the whole point. Good to be back in the seat podcasting again, man. I just love doing it, damn it. It's a fun time for me. I don't even care if anybody listens, to be honest. It's just good times. But I'm feeling good, you know. I had some back issues last week, but I feel a little more mobile. When I stretch, I'm not getting as many of the clicking. So I guess we're healing a little bit better. Been staying pretty hydrated, been getting better sleep. So I think we've turned a corner here. We're just trying to be better versions of ourselves, you know, every day. Let's just try to be a better, lighter, happier Dan. That is the goal. Last week I did career day at Moxie and Maddox's school. I've never done a career day before, but it was really, really rewarding. I didn't want to do it originally, but Jenny was like, "Oh, we got the notice," and Jenny was like, "Oh, you got a cool job. You should do it." And I was like, "Yeah, I do." I don't think about it though. I don't think about how cool my job is because I've been working there for 18 years. So it didn't even really occur to me that my job was cool. I work at Prop Store, and we buy and sell film props and costumes, and we sell them to collectors as memorabilia. You can go to propstore.com, and we auction all original props and costumes. We deal with some replicas, but I mean, the majority is original stuff used in movies, and we sell them to collectors. We got posters, artwork, animation cells. We dabble in music memorabilia, all kinds of stuff, and it is really, really cool. And I'm the senior manager of shipping at Prop Store. I've been doing that for I think almost 2 years now. I've switched over to that from the consignments department. Really enjoyed talking to all these kids. It was set up where like I was in a room. I brought a couple props with me. I brought my original Jurassic Park license plate. I brought a high-end replica of Kylo Ren's helmet, and I brought a Jurassic World park brochure as just like a physical representation of what a movie prop is. And then I had like a slideshow and whatnot, but it was cool. And so I was in this room. I was set up there, and these classes would rotate, and they came in, and I just told them about what it's like to work at Prop Store and ship props and what skills you need and all this sort of stuff. And the kids were eating it up. They're like, "What is that? Is that real? did you play Kylo Ren? I'm like, no, dude, just chill, just wait. And, oh, it was cool. But I mean, there were some questions I was not ready for. I was definitely not ready for a couple of these ones. Really, like, once you get to the nitty gritty of it, you know, I had a slide of this lightsaber we sold from a previous auction. It was Darth Vader's original lightsaber from Empire Strikes Back, and we sold it in an auction recently for like $3 million, a little more than $3 million. But I told them it was about $3 million just for like clarity or whatever, and they were all like, "Oh my God!" And then the questions started to pour in. They're like, "Are you rich?" And I was like, no, I'm not rich. I didn't make the money, like directly. I didn't make the money off of the sale. And then they just flat out asked me, they're like, how much money do you make? And I was like, whoa, I was a little taken aback, and I had to give them an answer. I didn't want to just like ignore it, which I contemplated doing, or just like, oh, fuck, don't answer that one. But I told them, I was on my toes. I was like, I make enough to help support my family. And then like another crazy question that a kid asked me was, they're like, how many houses can you buy? And I was like, buddy, I can barely afford my own, the one that I have. And it was a cool time, man. And it was really fun to see the kids' faces light up when I showed them like different movie props and different costumes. Like I was showing them Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man and like the bat suit, and it was crazy. Like I showed him a slide of like how we packed up the we had the model miniature spaceship from Alien, and the Nostromo model miniature. And when I say model miniature, I mean a model miniature, but this thing is bigger than an SUV. All right. And we had that, and we sold that in a previous auction, and I showed them a slide of it, and I was like, does anyone know what this is from? And like 2 kids got it wrong. And then another kid, this girl, she raised her hand and she was like, that's from Alien. And I was like, oh my gosh, you've seen Alien? I think this was a 3rd or 4th grade class. She was like, yeah, we saw Alien. I've seen Alien. She's like, I've watched 75 movies with my dad. And in my head, I'm like, your dad is fucking cool, man. And the same girl asked me if we had anything from Silence of the Lambs. And I was like, you've seen Silence of the Lambs? She was like, yeah. No 3rd grader has any business watching Silence of the Lambs, but I was impressed. And it was wild, man. The stuff they were asking about, a lot of people, they were asking like, do you have anything from Harry Potter? It was Harry Potter, Five Nights at Freddy's, and what was the other one? Squid Game. They wanted props from Squid Game. So really, really fun. I'm a no first person. Originally, like if you ask me to do something, I'm like, no, I'm good. I don't really want to do it. I don't want to go anywhere. I don't want to do anything. I'm 43 years old, and I would prefer to just not. So to get me out of my comfort zone, it was a good exercise. And also it helped me at work. Like explaining the core functions of my job to these kids really put what I do in perspective for me at the job. Because after I did this career day, I went to my work and I was just thinking back of like all the stress of like the job that I put into it, and all the technical stuff that I deal with in the shipping department. Like that all peeled those layers back for me. And I went into the job and I'm like, this is what you do. You help pack and process the orders for shipment. That's what you do. And it was just cool. So maybe my advice, a good exercise is if you're stressed out at work and you're having a tough time and you're just overwhelmed by your responsibilities or whatever, think about how you would explain your job to a kid, and then See those layers peel back and see the important key elements that you would tell a kid about your job, and then just sort of put it back together and focus on the core elements of the job, and keep saying that in your head of like, this is what I do, and then do it. And then it's like, my this isn't that crazy or stressful. It worked for me. Maybe it'll work for you. I don't know. Let's move on. I went to Knott's Berry Farm recently over Easter. I hope everyone had a good Easter, by the way. But we took the fam to, so we're not traveling anywhere for spring break. So we were like, you know what? We got the Six Flags season passes. And since Knott's bought Six Flags, boom, if you got that gold pass, dude, you can go to Knott's on the same pass. And your meal plan switches over, but your parking doesn't, which is a fucking messed up. So we still had to pay for parking, so I'm a little pissed off about that. But we took the kids to Knott's, and they had a good time. I like amusement parks. I like the walking aspect of it, getting in the steps and everything. I like the food. But the kids are in a mode right now of like wanting to go on all the crazy rides, all the roller coasters. So I just got to man up and like ride these things with them. When Maddox is too short and Moxie wants to do a roller coaster, Jenny ain't doing the roller coaster. She did do one. She did one roller coaster this time and freaked out. But then I rode the other roller coasters with Moxie, and at this age, like, it just rattles you around, and it's so jerky, and it hurts. Everything hurts. You get locked into these seats, and everything's clicking and clacking and like tightening. And then I was on one, and they came around and they were like, Can we get that lap bar down one more click? And I didn't know if I had it in me. So I clicked it down, and I was like, for real, in pain. And then they do the ride, and it's like, oh, you're getting bashed around, and stuff's cracking. I was really low key. I was hoping that like some sudden jerk movement would work like a chiropractor and just like fix my whole lower back thing. So like one spin on a cart, and it's like, ooh, I feel good now. I'm back. But that didn't happen. I'm just stretching more. Trying to stretch the right way. Trying to not overdo it. But yeah, I mean, it was cool. We got a hotel. Hotel's tough, man, because with the two kids, we had a room where we sort of had like a dividing area, but like, what is it about being in your 40s and just wanting to end any and all noise, extra noise? Like, I feel like 85% of my gripes with my children are about the volume level in which they speak. I'm constantly having to be like, why are you yelling? What? Why did you just blurt out a scream? Are you okay? Like, are you all right generally in your life? Why is this a yelling matter? It's bizarre, man. And I'm like so fixated on it. If like never before. Something happened when I turned like 43 or 42. Something happened, and I cannot deal with too much noise. It's jarring. I don't like it, and I get disoriented. I can't function. I just want my children to shut the fuck up, like, a lot. I just need quiet. I need quiet. Yeah, just be quiet. Like, half of my gripes, no, 85% of my gripes would be over if they just shut the fuck up. And they could get away with so much more. The kids could get away with so much more if they just did it quietly. And they don't know that. They have no idea. I don't want to tell them because I don't want them to start doing the bad shit. But for real, if they just did bad shit really quietly, you'd get away with so much. So much. Never tell them, guys.
And now for Whatchoo Watchin.
All right, I watched some stuff. I'm a big movie and TV person, and I'm super impressionable. So from week to week, the stuff that I watch can directly impact what I'm done with that week. I watched a TV show for the first time, Fear Factor House of Fear. This is the new Johnny Knoxville Fear Factor. And I got to be honest, man, I didn't like it. I didn't like it, man. I like the old Fear Factor. Here's what they've changed. They've made it one of these reality shows where the contestants fucking live together. What is with this model where you always want a game show, but you always want the contestants to live together? And they compete over several weeks, and then then one of them gets kicked off. Like, I dig this model for like Big Brother. I dig this model for like The Challenge and Survivor. Sure, it's fine. I like the model for Traders, but like, you're trying to make Fear Factor this live-in drama-filled reality show when that's not what we enjoyed about Fear Factor. When Joe Rogan was the host of Fear Factor, I know they made Ludacris the host of Fear Factor for a minute. I never watched an episode of that, but I grew up watching the Joe Rogan one, and it wasn't, Joe Rogan wasn't Joe Rogan then. Like, he was a fine host, but he wasn't the reason I kept watching it. You watched Fear Factor for the crazy stuff they ate, for the wild stuff they did, and the heights, like how high they would jump or have to climb, or all the little flags that they would have to collect, or like all that sort of stuff. I loved that, but I loved the fact that one show was a set of contestants, and you won that day. You won that episode. And then the next episode, you had a new set of contestants. What I don't like about this show with Knoxville is that, like, I want to see new contestants. I don't want to see the same contestants over and over. We don't need to build these characters up. Those are the interchangeable things. It's the stunts. We need the stunts and the contestants to change. Maybe that's a way they can save money, is, cast 10 people and then use those 10 people, go through those 10 people throughout the weeks, and then you're out, instead of, casting 100 people for 10 episodes. That's probably it. But that model was good. This model, not a fan. Go back to the old format. So don't recommend it. Not good. Wow, that might be the first thing I saw that on this podcast that I'm just saying is not good. Congratulations, Fear Factor House of Fear, for being the shittiest thing that I've seen in 13 episodes. The other show I started watching, Something Very Bad Is Going to Happen, on Netflix. I put this on, and again, like the Fear Factor show, I was kind of hoping that every episode was going to be a different something bad with like a new cast, kind of like just like a Monster of the Week type show. But I'm digging the story on this a lot. I like that it's following one full story throughout the season. I really, this show is great. I'm not going to spoil anything, but it does lean on loud noises and jump scares, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. It's just when I'm watching it, or when Jenny's watching it and we're falling asleep, that's when the jumps, like that shit jumps and wakes us both up, and then I got to turn it off. But it's a really, really cool story. It follows two characters, Camila and Nikki, who are engaged to be married, and they are traveling to Nikki's family's summer home, I guess, or just, cabin. It's like a real like luxurious like home like out in the boonies, but there is some really creepy stuff going on, and the family is really great at gaslighting Rachel to the point where she sort of feels like something very bad is going to happen, and there's constantly this build up to that something very bad, and then a gaslight session where they get to talking her down and decide that, there's nothing crazy here. But it's a show. It's a good show. I'm starting to yell at the TV, and that's always a good sign that I'm into it. And I'm like 3 episodes in. I'm really, really enjoying it. So if you're into creepy, scary jump scares, this might be for you. It's good acting too. I'm digging it. The actors in the family are just very unsettling. They talk to Rachel in a way that is alarming, but wouldn't set off any immediate like alarm bells. There's always an explanation for why something super creepy just went down, and that she accepts. So that's frustrating, but it's a great show. I can't wait to get through it. Next, I watched my boy Vince Vaughn. I love Vince Vaughn. I watch anything that man is in, and this one was that Hulu joint, Mike and Nick and Alice. This is a pretty well done action film. Vince Vaughn plays 2 characters, future Nick and current Nick. And one of those Nicks comes from the future to try to change the past. Essentially, James Marsden, he plays Mike, and he has died in the future. And Nick comes back to sort of make amends and make that right. But his other self is not very welcoming of this. So if you like Vince Vaughn, you're getting fucking double of them in this. I really, really enjoyed it. I think the action is really cool. I think that there's a lot of funny stuff going on. Like a lot of movies, like, they try to be funny and they try to be action based, and they either do one too much and then the whole movie is off. But this movie is a happy balance of action and comedy. And I really, really think it's good. Keith David is in this. He's very, very good. Alice, Eliza Gonzalez, she is really, really good. Jimmy Tatro is in this. He is super funny. Plays a great character. Ben Schwartz, hilarious guy. Sonic the Hedgehog. It's a fun ride. If you dig action and you dig comedy, this is a really cool one. And you like the future and 2 Vince Vaughns, you're going to like this one. It's good. Then, as part of the Easter festivities, we took the kiddies and we watched this Super Mario Galaxy movie. This is the second installment of the Super Mario Brothers animated movies by Universal and Illumination. And I gotta say, like, same thing. When I watch kids movies, I feel weird just having an opinion on them in general, because they're not for me. They're not made for me. They're made for kids. And with those kid goggles on, Moxie and Maddox loved it. So I got to give it to them. The thing is, though, if I'm looking at this as an adult who's like a snooty movie critic, of course, this movie is not great. But I'm not that, and I can look at a movie and enjoy it for what it is. The animation was really cool, but to be a good movie, You can't have just good animation because every movie has good animation now. It's all good. So you need some story elements, and unfortunately, this one lacked, some kind of, bedrock story and character development. Yoshi gets introduced. I loved Yoshi. I loved that Donald Glover was the voice of Yoshi, and he was super cute. And there are some really cool, funny scenes with Yoshi, but don't learn much about Yoshi, and he's like a new character. They introduced Rosalina, who's played by Brie Larson. Again, new character. Don't really learn much about her. And Bowser is just he's little, and then he's good, and then he's big, and then he's still good, but then he's kind of bad. And his son is out to get Mario and Luigi, but he's helping Mario. Bowser's helping Mario and Luigi. It's strange, but again, it's for kids. They loved it. So I guess that's a win. Favorite scenes though were with the dinosaur and baby Mario and baby Luigi. That was my favorite part. So it was fine. It was entertaining. I was entertained. It is what it is. If you got kids, go see Mario. If you don't got kids, maybe wait. That's what I would say for this one. We got some feedback, but we also got feedback on some other segments of the podcast, which I was pleasantly surprised by. I got some comments about the nighttime diapers and what I'm doing, and I really appreciate that feedback. So let me read some of it for you. This was off of a YouTube short. @_xteen775 said, make sure he's drinking plenty throughout the day so he's not thirsty at night. Then stop all drinks at least an hour, maybe 2, before bedtime. Have him pee about 30 minutes before bed, and then right before laying down to make sure everything is eliminated. Thanks. I appreciate that. I definitely appreciate that feedback. I got some more on that. Vanessa said, we put pads, fabric on the bed and had him in underwear. Didn't use pull-ups. And during the middle of the night, we would wake him up to use the restroom. It was a bit of a hassle at first because we were so tired, but eventually he was used to waking up to use the restroom and would go on his own. Hope this helps. It definitely helps. That's going to be hard though, man, because I don't want to wake up and then go wake him up. And then what if you wake him up, but he's already wet? Then you got to address the whole shit like it's the morning. And then that's going to take me out of my sleep. I don't know. It's going to be tough. It's going to be hard to do that. But I mean, yeah, what are you going to do, man? Then, oh my gosh, I got a ton of feedback about Moxie's request for a refrigerator for her skincare, which is funny as shit because I make all these into clippable, shareable content across YouTube Shorts and Instagram and Facebook, and I spend some time editing these bits from the podcast, and it's always the ones that always get the most feedback are the things that I'm weary about posting and would otherwise just not post it, but that ends up being the one that gets the most sort of feedback. So I'm gonna need to retool what I'm doing and throw caution to the wayside, or whatever that saying is, and throw caution to the air. Is that what it is? I don't know. And just start zinging it, because clearly I don't know what is gonna hit and what is not. But y'all had a lot to say about Moxie's request for a refrigerator for her skincare at 9 years old. So Scarlett said, I vote no. Marina said, My girls don't even remember to wear chapstick, and no one brings makeup into this house. This guy, I think he's talking about me, or she's talking about me. This guy has other issues. If I had to guess, I'd say mom and other females put it in her head that her self-esteem is tied to her face paint. Oh, okay. Well, thanks for that. Tara said, I have a mini one for my face cream and eye patches, but it was given to me as a gift. Jesse says, Aria has one too, and I still have my caboodle. Rachel said, yes, my 10-year-old wants one too, and that's a definite no. I don't even have one. Rosie said, it's a hard no for my 12 and 14-year-old to even wear makeup. No need. Lip gloss and mascara for the 14-year-old is about it. Don't even ask for a refrigerator, LOL. Kylie said, I got Charlotte a caboodle for her hair stuff. She just uses play makeup and my old stuff for funsies. Usually you would put moisturizers, eye cream, eye patches, and stuff like that in a fridge, but no 10-year-old needs that stuff yet. Heather said, yep, Ava has one. It's the thing now. She used it in early high school, but not any longer. I love my caboodle. Julia said, your sister and cousins did the same. We had to store our drugstore makeup and scrunchies somewhere. And then Jenny had to clear the air. She said, for the record, it's not for Moxie's makeup. She doesn't have makeup. It's for her skincare. She's super into moisturizers, face masks, etc. Dan doesn't know the difference. Nicole said, my 10-year-old just asked for one too. Why does makeup need to be refrigerated at 10? I agree. I totally agree. We don't need the makeup fridge. We don't need the skincare fridge. You just don't. Tiaras and Fries said, hi, master esthetician here. The mini fridge is actually for skincare. Many people, myself included, often store some skincare products and tools in a fridge. This is to help with things like preserving their shelf life, preventing oxidation, or to give a more cooling and depuffing effect on the skin. The more you know. I appreciate that. I had no idea that this is even a thing. Amy said, yep, it's a thing. My girl and her friends have the mini fridges in their rooms. And then the sweetest message, Chrissy said, Dan, please tell Moxie I have a gift for her. For realsies, I have a new in-box mini skincare fridge I never opened and don't plan to use and would be so happy to give it to your beautiful makeup maven. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Chris, for offering. I will hit you up, but I don't know. I might hold off on giving it to her until it's like her birthday, because it's just crazy. It's outlandish. It's madness, I tell you. Madness. Here we go with comments on cleaning up for company. Got one from the wife. Jenny said, okay, so stress cleaning for company. Dan, I have to disagree with you on this one. I think that when you clean up for someone that's coming over, it's more for their benefit than yours. It's a sign of respect. You are making your guests feel welcome and comfortable within your home. We talk about this all the time, how you can become blind to your own mess. That chair in the corner of your room that has accumulated all of the clothes and paper and debris of your life. After a while, we stop noticing it, but your guests see it. When you have guests over and they are met with a clean environment, they feel more comfortable. And let's face it, if we didn't stress clean for company, we'd never clean. I agree. I do agree. We would never. We would just tidy. And over time, the tidy, you can't maintain with just the tidy. Here we go. Our boy is back, Mr. Lars. Hello, Dan. First off, I appreciate the content as always. We got to talk about a couple because, respectfully, what are we doing here? First, can we review your take on I'm tired of cleaning up for guests coming over? My guy, that's the whole point. This isn't a hotel inspection. It's basic human decency. You don't clean for no reason. You clean so people don't walk into your house and wonder if you're filming a true crime documentary. Also, hosting is literally just an excuse to hang out with people like you. If the trade-off is I vacuum once in exchange for not becoming a hermit, feels like a win. But no one is going to come over if they have to slip on Matchbox cars and step on Legos. Okay, moving on. Let's talk about Sinners. Did we watch the same movie? That take really felt like a stretch. Saying the portrayal of Mary is somehow broadly tough on mixed-race kids because of plot mechanics in a vampire story, that's a wild amount of weight to put on what is essentially characters. That's a wild amount of weight to put on what is essentially characters made decisions and consequences followed in a fictional world with vampires. If we're assigning blame in a vampire movie, I feel like the vampires should probably be pretty high on that list. Trying to turn that into a larger social takeaway feels like reading Yelp reviews of haunted houses and being mad about ghosts. Or you just get really, or you just really wanted to find a way to make the movie Sinners more about you, which I guess is fine. Lastly, Grace did nothing wrong. Anyway, keep the episodes coming. Even when you're wrong, you're entertaining. You messy Bessie bitch. With love, Lars. Wow, Lars. Okay, pal. You know, it's hurtful. The bitch at the end, it really, it stings, you know? Gets me. But, you know, maybe I do need to watch Sinners again because, Lars, you're not wrong again. Fuck. You're not wrong again because I have definitely heard some other takes on Sinners that other people have told me, and they're sort of in line with you on it. I'll read another take. Okay, so here's another take on Sinners that sort of aligns with what you said, Lars. Chris said, okay, I completely understand why you feel this way, and I can definitely see where you can draw that connection about keeping it black only. But if you rewatch the scene where Mary was talking to Stack, it was Stack who was going to go outside to see if those white people were being followed. But Mary just convinced him that she should go instead. So even if Mary didn't go outside, it would have been Stack, and then he would have gotten bitten, and the whole thing would have happened anyway. I truly don't think that was the intention, to make the biracial person to be the problem by any means. Don't forget, they called her family, but I understand why you would feel the way you do. And I appreciate that, Chris. I'll rewatch it and try to take my biases out of it and try to watch it from a different perspective. And Chris also said, and bro, don't forget the real culprit for the hell breaking loose was Lil Sammy and that damn guitar of his. His daddy warned him, and now he got a whole barn full of people murked. And then Kevin said Grace did nothing wrong. Jesse said, I'm still mad at Grace. When I saw her at the Oscars performance, I got angry all over again. So, all right. I mean, maybe I need to rewatch it. If we don't make everything we see about us, how then what's the point? when I watch movies, I put myself in characters' positions, and I work it out of like, what would I do? That's how I decide if a movie is good or not. If I am doing that, if I am making the movie about me, that's how I judge if a movie is great. Because you want to sort of like be in that world, and you're critically thinking about what could have been done, what you would have done, all that sort of stuff. And that's what I did with Sinners. That's why I know it was good. Dude, I disagree, man. We don't need to be cleaning for guests, man. Let's just get on this contract, dude. Let's get on a contract. Lars, if I come to your house, when I come to your house, if we ever meet, don't clean up for me, all right? And I won't clean up for you, okay? We're gonna be just fine. Let's stop pretending. Hey, hit me up, man. Let me know what I should watch. Let me know if I got something wrong here. Let me know if there's have you ever been in a fight at a game? I want to hear from you. Have you ever stopped the fight at a game? I want to hear from you. Have you ever crossed streams in a trough in the urinal? I want to hear from you. Have you ever streaked across the field at a pro event? What happened to you? Do you have all your teeth? Were you tackled? Are you injured? Did you keep your job? I want to know all of this stuff. Hit me up. 41anddonepodcast@gmail.com. Or you can hit me up on Instagram or TikTok at 41anddonepodcast. Well, I'm on Patreon. If you feel that I've provided enough value, such a content creator buzzword. Have I created enough value for you to give me a fucking $1 on Patreon? If that answers yes, go to patreon.com/41anddonepodcast and give me $1. That would be so cool. I appreciate it. No, for real. I really do appreciate that. And if you don't want to give me $1, but you still like the podcast and you want to help your boy out, dude, share it. Share the podcast. Comment on a post. Like, start a conversation, man. Or leave me a review on Apple Podcasts. That would be really, really cool. I like what we're doing here. More to come, for sure. I'm having a good time. Give me some topics, and we'll run with it. We doing this thing. We doing it together. The shit is real. I love it. We got tuna no crust on today, baby. The outfit is dripped out. We're doing it. We're exposing the everyday occurrences in life and odd human behavior and making an argument every single podcast why we should be done. Thanks for listening to the 41 and Done. I'll see you next time.
Thanks for listening to the 41 and Done podcast. We'll see you next time. You can follow the podcast on Instagram at 41 and Done podcast. Make sure you follow, like, and subscribe.
Bye-bye. See ya.